Good evening, I'm Patricia Vallone with a CTV News Update. Our top story tonight, we are just a day away from the presidential election. Will it be 4 more years with Donald Trump and Mike Pence, or will Democrats Joe Biden and Kamala Harris emerge the victors? Our Byron Scott has our report on this, the last day of early voting.
I'm Byron Scott at the Wayne K. Curry Sports and Learning Center, where it is the last day of early voting.
The lines, I was in and out.
This was the scene at the Wayne K. Curry Sports and Learning Center in Landover this morning. Both outside and inside, the lines moved along smoothly. This is Yvonne Keller.
I decided to come out today because I wanted to avoid the lines most of all, and because it was important for me to get out here and get my vote out for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
I think it's very important to be out here voting.
Prince George's led the state in early voting turnout. Everyone we spoke with today indicated the importance of getting out this year.
And if you don't come out and vote and make a change, then how do you get your voice heard? How do you make changes in terms of the local level and on the federal level in terms of what affects your community, what affects your kids in terms of education, in terms of the changes they're making in the court system that could be overturned. So you need to get out here and you need to vote.
Some voters told us that this year's election is about everything.
With the COVID-19 thing, the response of the president, and the way it seems the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. I mean, so many things that he needs to do that we not see him doing. So we need to get him out of there and let's vote for someone that is ready to tackle the problem of the country right now.
What are your thoughts about how the campaigns have been run?
Honestly, it's crazy. I think Trump supporters are doing a little bit too much, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
To be sure, Prince George's is a Democratic stronghold, so it's not surprising when you talk to voters that you hear things like this.
I'm going to vote for Joe Biden, of course, and Kamala Harris. Of course, it's the obvious reasons. I'm not really happy about how Trump ran our country, and I think there's time for a change.
And again, today is the last day of early voting. The polls open tomorrow at 7 a.m. I'm Byron Scott.
And now with more early voting news, we head out to Bowie with Katira Jones.
It's pretty quiet here at this polling location, but many voters have been trickling inside of this Bowie gymnasium since this morning. Now, we've spoken to quite a few voters, and they say they've been having conversations about this 2020 election with their friends and family and are eager to cast their ballot.
This year, we did need to vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Zanite Waldo is proud to say she stands with Joe. As a mother, she's had to learn how to navigate the topic of politics with her children.
We have been discussing it, and even not only now with friends and family, but even with your kids. I mean, they're even interested as much as the family is.
While the race for the White House has been dominating headlines, here in Maryland, Congressman Anthony Brown and Steny Hoyer from the 4th and 5th districts are looking to hold on to their seats in the House.
Definitely paying attention to the presidential race, that's the bottom line, but also the races which affect us locally as well. So, yeah, I've been paying attention to both, yeah. As leaders encourage residents to create a plan and bring a friend to vote, George Williams says his family will be voting. Everybody's on the same accord, everybody's on the same beat. It's got to be done. You got to get out and vote, yep.
Officials say the Bowie Gymnasium will close as an early voting site at 8 p.m. Reporting in Bowie, Katira Jones, CTV News.
The Board of Elections says more than 111,000 people have voted early in Prince George's and more than 220,000 have submitted mail-in ballots. Elections Administrator Alicia Alexander today says staffers are fine-tuning COVID-19 requirements at the polls and making sure that people with disabilities have accommodations. Tomorrow, she expects a heavy voter turnout.
We ask them to, make sure they pack their patience because we do expect a very high turnout tomorrow. And again, to also be conscientious of the fact that we're still in a pandemic. So we, have to practice our, social distancing, wear our masks.
If you still have a mail-in ballot, Alexander says you should place it in a ballot drop box as soon as possible. A very chilly day for voters today. It was bright and sunny for this fall day, but it felt more like winter with temperatures in the mid-40s, and with strong and steady wind gusts, it felt more like 35 degrees. The wind will ease late this afternoon, but it will remain breezy tonight and tomorrow. Good news is it will be about 10 degrees warmer than today, with highs in the upper 50s for Election Day and more sunshine. The COVID-19 death toll has passed the 4,000 mark in Maryland. With 3 fatalities reported today, the death count now stands at 4,007. Meantime, health officials are reporting 850 new COVID cases today. 529 people are currently hospitalized with the virus. A local company currently developing a vaccine for COVID-19 plans to expand and add hundreds of jobs. Novavax, a clinical stage vaccine company in Gaithersburg, is acquiring extra space to accommodate an increasing number of vaccine candidates. There are currently 142 employees at the Gaithersburg site, and at least 400 new jobs will be added by December 2024. The Department of Commerce has approved a $2 million loan for the company, and Montgomery County is giving a $500,000 grant. Both are contingent on job creation and capital investment. Police continue to look for 2 people of interest in a Halloween shooting at the hotel in College Park that left 7 people injured. Detectives released surveillance pictures of the 2 who were at a party where as many as 100 people attended, packing into a hotel room after it was advertised on social media. The incident happened just after 11 p.m. in the 7700 block of Baltimore Avenue. 5 of the victims who were shot have since been released from the hospital. In addition to the 2 persons of interest, Prince George's police would like to speak with anyone who has critical information on this case. Prince George's police are also looking for a missing senior. This is 79-year-old Alice Gray. She was last seen early Saturday morning at the 9000 block of Taylor Street in Springdale. She's about 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighs 120 pounds. Anyone with information on her whereabouts is asked to contact police. Maryland lawmakers are calling on the governor to release grants for businesses hurt by construction of the Purple Line. Delegate Janelle Wilkins says the administration has failed to release $2 million in grants approved by the legislature. She tells the Washington Post the failure is unconscionable and irresponsible. Construction on the project has been delayed because of legal disputes. Well, during this time of COVID, it's particularly important to have plans in place in case you or one of your loved ones gets sick. That's why former Maryland Delegate Dan Morheim and his wife Shelley wrote a new book on the importance of advance directives called Preparing for a Better End. The book is a roadmap for planning end-of-life care.
This all comes out of my experience as an emergency medicine physician, over 40 years, frontline, rural, urban, suburban hospitals, as well as other locations like Indian reservations and overseas. And I just found too often families were in crisis when the crisis entirely couldn't have been averted, but it might have been better managed.
How has COVID changed all of this?
Well, it's changed it primarily because family members can't be at the bedside. And I can tell you as a clinician standing at the bedside, we get information to patients, we get information from the family, but let's say the patient's had some condition where they can't speak for themselves, then I have to know, who do I speak to? Who can I share medical information with? And who can guide the patient? But the bottom line is that this is a form that you can complete for yourself. They're easy to obtain. Maryland State Attorney General's web office, every hospital has one. I personally like one called mydirectives.com. It's free, it's online, you can do it in just a few minutes. You may have to think about the issues for a while, but it really takes a few minutes, and it can make a huge difference in what happens to you when things get tough.
The book will be available later this month through Johns Hopkins University Press or on Amazon. Are you looking for a new job? If so, the ARC of Prince George's County is hiring. The organization is hosting a drive-through job fair on November 10th. The ARC provides employment training and group home services to persons with disabilities. If you're coming to the job fair, bring your resume with 2 references and be prepared for on-the-spot interviews. The ARC is currently seeking direct support professionals.
We are looking for people that have a passion for working with people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We prefer folks with experience, at least a minimum of a year for entry level. And that person has to be okay with assisting that person with every aspect of their life, from helping them to learn, to helping them get dressed, helping them budget, helping them navigate in the community.
And for more information, you can visit the arc of pgc.org. Let's get a quick check now on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly clear with a low of 38. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 56 and a low around 39. Wednesday and Thursday, sunny with daytime temps near the low to mid-60s and an evening low around the mid-40s. And for your community calendar, it's that time of year to give thanks. Join the organizers from the local nonprofit Be Unlimited and give back to families in the community. A Day of Thanks food drive will take place in the town of Capitol Heights Tuesday, November 10th from 3 to 5 p.m. and again on Saturday, November 14th from noon until 3 p.m. Residents can donate turkeys, canned items, non-perishable items, and more. For more information, visit beunlimited.org. And that wraps up our newscast. Be sure to join us again tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great night.
For the latest information on COVID-19 in Maryland, visit the State Health Department website. That's health.maryland.gov. Again, health.maryland.gov. Click the link to the COVID-19 information portal. There you'll find all the latest information about coronavirus. You'll find daily updates on cases and fatalities. Answers to questions about testing and the governor's stay-at-home order are available as well. For specific information about Prince George's, visit princegeorgescountymd.gov. That's princegeorgescountymd.gov. The site offers information about local services for residents and businesses. There's a link for COVID-19 relief donations. Also, food pantry locations are listed. And if you have any questions, call the county COVID-19 hotline at 301-883-6627. That's 301-883-6627.
My God. It's another sad day in America.
Painful to be introduced to George Floyd during his last breath.
With the cop's knee on his neck. He deserves so much more.
How many black lives have to be taken before something is done?
We are not a threat.
I am shaking as I type. This has got to stop.
We are sick of it.
We need conviction.
I just want us all to live.
The deaths will not stop until the powers that be are finally held accountable.
Don't look away from the truth until every one of us are free from white supremacy.
The world stands with you.
Criminalizing and killing of black and brown bodies is not new. It's as old as America. It's just getting filmed more.
Do you know what it feels like to be hunted? To have a new hashtag for a dead black person every single day? How does one plan a life if they aren't sure they will have a life to plan?
Shonda Armstrong, Deborah Dance,
Nina Pop, Stephen Clark, Nia Wilson,
Keisha Mike,
Christopher
George Floyd. His name was George Floyd. Say his name.
Say his name.
George Floyd. Say his name.
Say their names. Once again and always, we fight for justice. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Rest in power, beautiful.
Go to blacklivesmatter.com.
I am what child hunger looks like in America. I am a 9-year-old boy who hopes a friend invites me to a sleepover so I can have dinner. I am a 15-year-old girl who goes for walks during lunch so my friends won't know I don't have anything to eat. I am a 13-year-old boy who gets into fights at school just because I'm hungry. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 7 American children who struggle with hunger. Kids you pass by every day but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.